not familiar, 1 Million Cups is a volunteer organization that's presented by the Kauffman Foundation. They figured out that all the funds that they were helping, funds and support they were helping entrepreneurs with weren't really good if they couldn't make it through their first couple of years. So then a few years ago, they established 1 Million Cups, kind of a grassroots effort across the United States to have coffee meetings like we're doing right now on Wednesday mornings. Some chapters do it every week. We used to do it every week. We decided to go back to monthly. And what we do is offer a presentation platform for new entrepreneurs. Any 3 years or younger is generally what we stick with, even dreamers. And then we're also looking to have some student presenters in our chapter that are youth entrepreneurs presenting in 2022. And again, just a reminder that your pitch for you, Mark, you probably know this, it's not for a sale, it's not for an investment, it's really to pitch what product you have created, where you are in your business right now and where you might be stuck or where your community can help you. So I think that might be my whole spiel. We do have a sponsor. It's the Office Coffee Shop. That's where 3 of us are located right now, Mike Bacon, Mark, and myself. And they have provided coffee to Mike Bacon because he has coffee. The rest of us don't do coffee. So next time, hopefully in January, we can join in person. And we will be meeting here at the Office Coffee Shop, which is in Royal Oak. And we meet on the second Wednesdays every month at 9 a.m. So if you know anyone who would like to present their products or their service, or even just attend as an audience member that could help us, that would be wonderful. We would love to get people in here that are interested in joining us. So you might have seen that Doug Stone popped up a poll there. Those are the 2 requirements that we have of our headquarters, 1 Million Cups chapter headquarters, which is to ask if this is your first time here and if you are an entrepreneur. So thank you again, everybody, for joining us. We are looking forward to hearing from Mark, and he, I believe, is ready to go.
Cool. Thanks, everybody. Thank you, Melissa. Love my presentation. So you're going to see me from behind. Look at Melissa's screen. All right. Just do the screen here. This thing here.
I can see your screen.
Yes, thank you. Trying to get to full screen here. Okay, cool. Very good. All right. Well, hello, everybody. My name is Mark Harburg, CEO and founder of SafetySit. Our goal is to make therapy simpler and safer for therapists in a rehab setting. So the problem is in rehab, whether it be in a hospital or assisted living, when you're working with very disabled recovering patients, they require their patients to be sitting upright and on the side of the bed. This is called edge of bed therapy or early mobilization to regain their core strength, as it's kind of what's shown in this picture here. However, in order to do that, you have to have a second person to come in for safety reasons and literally act as a manual backrest and hold them up for extended period of time, anywhere from 20 minutes up to an hour. And for hospitals in the US, this costs about $1.8 billion every single year in this unnecessary support staff labor. Beyond this, there's a high risk of injury. You can imagine the demographic being mainly women nurses or therapists having to hold up sometimes 200-300-pound patients. The work is very undesirable, and it's really not ideal for the patient in terms of safety. And then from the patient's perspective, you can imagine if you're trying to recover, being held up by multiple people is not the most dignifying process while you're trying to recover. So what else is out there? So what I've just described is 99.9% of the time is what happens in these facilities. However, we are aware that there are these rotating mechanical beds, and there are also patient lifts, but the problem with these is that they're either very expensive or facilities don't want to replace all of their beds with something like that. And then the patient lifts, they still take a lot of time, and they still require 2 people to safely maneuver. So this is why we invented the SafetySit. It's the world's first mobile backrest. You can just plop on any bed, any flat surface, hold up to 600-pound patients. It's very easy to clean. It's not going to tip or slide. It just takes a few seconds. Once it's set up, that second person is free to go. And really the biggest benefit for the clinicians is that now, excuse me, they can do their work with a single clinician there for the duration of whatever they're doing. If we look at the economics of this, 300-bed hospital, which is pretty average size, if they were to buy 30 of our devices, they'd be saving about $1 million every year in just annual labor savings. Beyond this, we know that hospitals are very strenuous place to work. It's a high rate of injury. So if we just prevent one injury, whether it be a staff or a patient, you can buy 15 of our devices with that same cost. So our total addressable market is just under 500 million. We're initially just going to be targeting hospitals, which is about $133 million market. And then we plan to move into the long-term care and then into home care eventually. So where are we? We have a patent. We just registered with the FDA, so we're cleared to sell. We have 5 hospitals here in Michigan that have all agreed to do an eval of our device before buying. So it's kind of a try before you buy. And then we're hoping, we'll have saleable product. Well, it says November. Really, things have been delayed. So probably January at this point, have saleable product in the new year. So who are we? So I'm kind of the founder. My background is in product design and manufacturing engineering. Chris Holland helps us kind of part-time with commercialization side of things. And then we have awesome advisors who have helped us get where we are today, made up with clinicians, FDA regulatory experts, and some other entrepreneurs. So we identified we could sell this for, our target pricing is about $1,500, but average sale price we're guessing around $1,300 with discounts. Profit margin is relatively healthy at the beginning with room to grow up to 90% once we move into kind of high volume tooling. And then there's a possibility for us to get annuity with disposable covers for these units to reduce time for cleaning our device in between patient use. And that would be about $1,000 per unit per year. Just real quick, rough look at our financials. Basically we'd become profitable around end of 2023, 2024. Some things to note there actually are, we're a DME, durable medical equipment, so we're not reimbursable to hospitals. It's a direct cost to them. And then that model weighs to about 8 devices per hospital. Oops, looks like I went back. Now my computer is frozen. Okay, so we are looking for, a raise of investment. I know it's not an investment pitch, but and basically we'll use that to build out inventory, reduce really our cost of goods.
Show that slide, Mark. Go back to that one slide.
Okay, sure. Yeah, so seed round, it's actually probably closer to $1 million at this point. I haven't updated this slide yet, but a $2.5 million evaluation pre-seed. So looking to hopefully close that by mid next year. And then, like I said, really going to use this funds to scale out everything and become profitable. So our main strategy is to exit as quickly as possible, but as a plan B, we would be building out other products that are in line with our mission and other patient handling solutions. And I've seen a lot of different problems going in and out of hospitals, so there's definitely room for improvement, particularly in the hospital system. And that's it. Here's my information. Happy to answer any of your questions.
All right, that was really well done. Yep. Even though there's a couple of slides to update, it still looks good. So does anyone have any questions from our audience? I'm hoping maybe Dr. Kevin, since he has to leave early, might have some feedback for Mark.
Well, I'm just wondering why you need seed money.
That's a great question. So to be very transparent, I personally have been, kind of debating whether I want to raise capital or if I want to, basically there's two paths. The way I see it is could raise capital and scale this very, very quickly and then exit, within the next 3 years, maybe 36 months, depending on how things go. That's definitely one path. Or, this could very much be a very organic, slow growth business, right? Or maybe initially I just take an injection of a loan based off, once we get some POs from hospitals and then growing it slowly. So that's still a possibility. I'm not sure which direction I really want to go. I'm leaning maybe more the organic path, but happy to get thoughts and insights on that.
Well, if someone did write you a check for $700,000? So what would the actual money be used for?
Yep. So I have it more broken down elsewhere, but essentially this. So inventory, building a small inventory to kind of get us going. A good portion of that, probably a quarter of that would be in just COGS reduction. So right now, everything, our products is CNC machined, which is just a very expensive process. So everything would be switched over to injection molding. And that would dramatically reduce our COGS probably by 80% from where it is right now. And then another portion of going to R&D, so developing add-ons, bolsters, the disposable covers. We want to create another a home market version of this, which would be a much more economical version of this, based on the price point where it's at right now. People, you and I, probably wouldn't want to spend $1,500 on a unit. So something that would probably cost closer to $100, $150 for those people. And then building out my team, that's a pretty crucial one. Because right now there's only one full-time person, and that's me. So that would be a good portion of the funds as well.
I've helped a lot of people in selling medical devices to medical facilities. And if you've done your homework, you realize the fact that medical facilities take quite a while to pay. Now they're even longer out. They used to be out somewhere around 35 to 45 days. Now they're out pretty close to 70 to 90 days now and paying. So that creates a cash flow problem. Yep. But one of the things I've been able to do, and just keep this in mind before I go, one, we're able to help people in doing a thing called receivable financing. And it's a no debt solution, and you don't have to give away any equity, don't have to give away any personal guarantees. Everything is based on the credit worthiness of the clients that you're doing business with. We also have a funding option that we can tie in with that. It's called progress funding. And so basically for inventory, we understand about the inventory, but if you can engage with a company who can do both progress of funding and also do receivable funding to go with all of that, that solves all of your problem, and you won't need to have any kind of an investor. They will fund you in progress as the orders are coming in, and you're going to have a certain percent of inventory set aside. So they're willing to do that as long as it's on small scale. And on the other hand, if you're looking to soon as you sell a product and you create a receivable, they can send you anywhere between 85 to 95% of the money will be infused into your bank account. And you won't have to worry about anything except just waiting for the money to get paid. And, once again, most businesses can't afford right now to wait anything beyond 30 days to getting paid. And I can tell you right now, the medical industry right now is suffering big time.
It's slow.
They have cash flow problems. I'm funding a lot of major hospitals, believe it or not. Yeah. And once again, that's because they're waiting forever to get paid, even from the medical insurance industry. they're taking now almost twice as long as they normally have been taking. So take all that into consideration and do that part of your homework. And if you do that, and that's something you want to take a look at, I have a lot more questions because I know you and I have talked once before. And once again, I think it's a great idea. If it can save hospitals money. Not all hospitals are right now looking to save money. They're just looking to survive and get money. And so once again, you're going to have to be in a position, even to make the sales. You're going to have to be well connected to these hospitals, because most of these hospitals, believe it or not, they have contracts. And they have contracts with these big facilities, and they're only allowed to do business with them. So you're going to have to go to those people and have them represent you. And I do have a guy, but he looked at your product and he was a little bit leery about the pricing, because he thought at that time, and your product looks totally different now. I did not see it looking like this on the first time that we met. So it looks like you made some engineering changes, and so it looks pretty decent. I like the changes that you made, and but he thought it was a little pricey, and quite a bit pricey, for the cost of the product, to produce it. And so once again, he was a little concerned from that end and did not want to pursue it at this time. But, once again, I just want to congratulate you for thinking about this and what it can possibly do. But from a financial perspective, you got to look to yourself first before you start looking to other people.
No, yeah, that's great feedback. Absolutely. And I'd love to even connect afterward, just to learn a little bit more about that progress funding.
Mark, Dr. Kevin has put his contact information in, which you already have, and he's opened his door to you, which sounds like a really great connection. He does have to run, so I don't normally ask this at this point, but we like to do a post after our meeting of everybody that was here with the coffee cup. But Dr. Kevin's advice, and if you could hold on.
Right now, we're just gonna do a quick group picture. Doug, you ready?
Okay.
One million cups, 2 million cups. All good, Doug? Okay, so thank you so much, Dr. Kevin. I'm glad you were able to come today.
Remember, we have products and have some recent advice.
Kevin, Mark does have his product, real product here in the coffee shop. Would it be beneficial if maybe you saw it on the screen for a moment before you have to go?
Or you have to go.
Melissa, I don't know about anybody else, but you're breaking up. I might be getting feedback from another.
Yeah, that was happening for me as well. I think it's like looping between the different microphones that are in the room.
Oh, yeah. So does he have to mute?
Now I can hear you.
You did mute?
Melissa,
How about now?
I
Can you hear me okay?
Yes, now I can hear you well.
Okay, sorry. So Dr. Kevin, Mark has his physical product here, or for anyone else in the room, would you be interested in seeing what it looks like now? Yeah, okay, good. So he's gonna demo that. And I'm wondering if Dr. Kevin might have some suggestions as far as if your friend thought that the cost of the manufacturing was priced too high, if you have a different colleague that could connect with Mark on maybe another route for being able to project his costs a different way. So, yeah. So, Mark, Mike Bacon has his camera on you, but that's great. We have 2 angles now, so fabulous.
So I'll just show you a quick setup of it. Here's it kind of folded. It's very lightweight, just 13 pounds. So it's very easy to carry, even just from a, we got a handle here, a strap, so I can use that. I just unlock the handle here, but very easy to maneuver. So how they do it is just, strap it, and then you just lock handles in place one at a time, and you're done. And then so we can, the patient can sit here and now they're good. Holding me up.
Mark, what's it made of?
Size, you can always fill in with pillows. We're coming out with an additional accessory. To have
It's the nurse that sets it up for the patient.
Yeah, so for setup, the easiest thing to do in our instructions of use is really get one person to sit the patient up and then the second person come around with the device and then pop behind them and then that other person is free to go. So right now what currently happens is without this, that other person has to stay there for an extended period. The value is really, not having that second person there.
Yeah, and the human collateral.
Billing point of view on the hospital side, since they still have to have that second person there at the beginning, do they need to get the full bill anyways, or?
No, so it's called co-treatment, and they do not get reimbursed having a second person regardless in the same room. So the hospital is losing money by having a second person there. Getting quick assistance is, relatively easy to come by, but having someone stay there for a certain period of time, that's expensive.
Yeah, you're coming across pretty quiet, so that just put in with your question. There was a question mark about what the product is made of. What's the material?
Yeah, it's all FDA cleanable materials. I don't know which standard to look at, but it's plastic. So it's primarily HDPE, high density polyethylene, and this is a special medical grade plastic. It's ABS PC blend. So that's it. And stainless steel fasteners. So.
Then you're gonna have, you say you were gonna develop covers for it?
Yeah, so disposable covers, it's still a question kind of poked around at our state office, whether they use that. They're thinking something that has a little less of a little sensitive skin, something that has less skin abrasion. So it'd be a cover with maybe some softness to it. Maybe some more for one-time use.
More for comfort rather than
Comfort,
sterilization?
yeah, I mean, sterilization was our initial thought, and it still might be true. Some hospitals still might want that as well, but just get the value of it. So.
I see here we have 8K has their hand raised. Do you want to go ahead and ask the question out loud?
Yes, I'm Aaron Keith. This is the first time joining to the meetup. The question I had was, I had several questions. One is, where did you perform the field discovery of the product, and what was the result?
He wants to know where you performed the discovery of the product.
Yeah, so I didn't come up with the idea. It came from an actual physical therapist from Spectrum Health. I did fail to mention we are partnered with Spectrum Health in Grand Rapids, so the child of Spectrum Health Innovations. And so through their they have an innovations department. They get ideas that are pulled, and then initially came from an engineering project which I was involved in early on. So and then I took the liberty to take it on as a full business.
Okay, what were your results as far as your actual research on patients' effectiveness?
Yeah, so that's what we're about to do. You can't use it on patients until you are FDA basically registered, which we just were. This is the whole problem with medical devices development. It takes a long time, and you're putting a lot of money and effort into something that may or may not prove out. So we have done unsolicited data. We can't really collect that data, but we've tested it in hospital setting already with patients. You didn't hear it from me, but so it's been used. We've had validation. We've had therapists, gone in and out of 13 different hospitals and had them try it. Had very positive experiences. So, but this next step is really us getting real data to be able to market under the clearance of FDA to say, hey, look, we can save you this much money. Patients like this, therapists perceive value from the therapist's point of view.
I also wanted to find out now, how did you arrive at your price point again?
Yeah, so we arrived at our price point with a couple different things, just because of the cost to make it right now is rather high. Medical devices are expensive. Plastics are very expensive right now with COVID, supply chain issues. But also our key customers, so rehab directors, have a designated equipment budget, and they're authorized to purchase anything from $1,000 up to $2,000, sometimes up to $5,000, without any direct permission from above. So we don't need to go through a whole value analyst committee team. It could be just a direct buy from their budget as we kind of get, started. And that's in that, this number is in that sweet spot.
Okay, and the follow-up question is your addressable market. Just to give you a little forethought, I think you're targeting the wrong customer / client. It shouldn't be the hospitals. I think you have a larger addressable market. There's as far as, and you have a better client as far as the government. There's a lot of there's so many state and federal facilities that you should be targeting, I believe, versus the hospitals. First of all, you're talking a net 30 turnaround on invoice. Also, it's just a larger addressable market of the state and federal homes that you can have as far as your clients. You get paid quicker. And the reason why I suggest that is because my sister was a manager of 5 different homes. And this is a product that's surely needed. Yet they don't have a solution for it. And the government is really vying for a solution for this particular problem. So you have eager clients and customer as well as they can pay. The turnaround on invoices on receivables is rather quick, and it's quote unquote guaranteed. I mean, the government, you can't go wrong. Can't go wrong with those contracts. Also, I wanted to mention one other thing before I get off. You talked about, and I'm trying to figure out why haven't you? You're saying that you can get, you can make a product, a consumer-based, smaller, cheaper product. Why have you? I guess I'm trying to figure out why haven't
we pursued that? Yeah,
yes.
That's a great question. So I mean, our initial, this will kind of answer both of your questions, I think. It's we're kind of following the Tesla model, right? So Tesla built a supercar and it's priced a lot higher to kind of see what the adoption rate would be from early adopters. And then they kind of built E-Class and all that for consumers. So we're kind of following that. So hospitals are kind of the premium payers. So we can charge more because our product costs more to get through the gate, particularly the medical device product. So eventually, yes, I mean, we want to immediately kind of turn around and create, these much cheaper versions of them and sell them into the long-term care facilities, government, and home care. But it requires basically the answer to your question is money. I mean, we're very cash strapped. We bootstrapped everything to this point. So it's, creating a tool is expensive. We just don't have the necessary means to create that at this point. So.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, James, go ahead.
Hi, going off the total addressable market, I loved your presentation, Mark. Thanks for walking through what you've been working through so far. I was just curious, your market right now is really focused on the US, and I understand that as like a initial start point. Is there anything that you've seen like globally, like with these chains that would prevent it from being adopted there as well? Or is it something that is just like a later point of expansion?
No, yeah, it's I haven't seen this product, this particular problem being solved anywhere else, even globally. So yeah, there's definitely a market, even to Canada and Mexico and our neighbors here, but also in Europe for sure. So that's part of the plan. It's not really built out in my financial model, but yeah, absolutely. It's in the works. At least thought of.
Great.
Thanks.
I got a second, Mark. Can I ask you? I don't want to ask you a question. I just want to make a few comments. Okay. I like the idea. Everything you said is on the money as far as the product goes. I'm sticking to the product now. Don't care how much it costs or anything else. The extension you have when you pick it up and hold it, that entire plastic backbone that you've got behind you to stop you from playing roly-poly. And that have you considered putting a bed hook on the front leg and eliminating half of that plastic? It'll cut down your die cost, your material cost. Just hook it to the front of the bed versus backwards. Also makes it smaller, easier to pack, easier to carry, things like that. Or using a T-bar as opposed to a part of the mold that could plug in. So you can do both sides if or, as that went. That was just from an engineering perspective.
That does seem like the obvious thing, and we have explored that. The issue we ran into with that is, one, clinicians don't want to have to hook anything in, otherwise they're not going to use it. That was pretty clear.
Well, I mean, they've got to go and put the legs on anyways to hit the front so it doesn't slide back. All it is an L leg that goes under the mattress and on the front.
Yeah.
It just sticks out and goes like that.
Yeah,
it's not something that's sophisticated.
Right.
As far as that goes. Like I said, just thinking out loud, because I saw it and I said, I wonder how he's going to stop it from flipping over. And then I saw your design. I said, that's awful big. There's a lot of material there. There's a lot of die costs there in doing that sort of thing. And shipping, when you're putting it in here, you might max out on 105 inches at UPS and not be able to ship it cheap for one. That sort of thing. Just thinking out loud. Yep. The other thing was, in that you also have a disability flavor to it, because that's your in-home part where, the DEI world and the disability world has the better funding rate at the moment than the general healthcare does. And then just for your reference, checking out on that end, people that sit in wheelchairs have bad core body issues. So, and home care. The third one was the DME channel versus the, direct channel. That gets you into home healthcare going both ways. That was just something that popped into my mind was, hospitals are time consuming more than anything else. They can cost you whatever you want, but it takes a long time and a lot of work and a lot of, glad handing and, and you can never find a stakeholder to make a decision like that. You can do that on the other side. The DME says, how much does it cost? What can I sell it for? You give me a couple, I'll try it. But the real one that got me was when you started talking about massive numbers in a hospital, spreading it out throughout the campus. And this is especially true here in Michigan with Grand Rapids or U of M, places where they have huge campuses, or down off the boulevard there. There's, there's another subset of channel there that is almost a 1 or 2 person business. You've seen how you go into Walmart and you at the front end, you got a glasses store. Now you're going to have a hearing aid store because they're doing the over-the-counter hearing aids. And that by putting one place in the middle, one person, one place, one office with stock as an entity, you could put a minimal amount of inventory that one person could provide to given areas that need it, reduce the amount they have on hand, and give them a monthly charge for doing that as a service. What we call it, rehab as a service, as for the rest of them. That's a economical way of getting in with minimal inventory on your part. You can, throw a dozen of them in there with a person, and they literally use the transport services in the hospital to get them to the place they need it. To call the patient's coming out, we'll get it up there now. And that cuts down on the idea of having to buy it. Somebody can try it, do the 90-day routine and try it and see what they want. I'm done. That was it.
Thank you.
Out of thoughts for the day.
You want to address this first point that you were?
Yeah, so I guess from the product standpoint, the issue we ran into with trying to hook it in is there's a lot of different there's 3 or 4 different bed manufacturers, and we have to make things adjustable, and ended up being more complicated than we anticipated it being. And at this point, it's a little bit late to change the design as we're kind of moving forward. But eventually down the road, it might make sense to develop something like that. And And then, yeah, disability world, absolutely, totally agree. That's definitely a channel that, you know, I haven't done a ton of research on, but it's definitely been aware of it. I kind of categorize that in the clump of long-term care and home care. And then the renting is definitely an idea we've been playing around with. I am trying to get a clearer answer on our early adopters to see if that's something that they would even consider. You know, I've asked one or two at this point, and they've kind of rejected the idea. They'd rather buy it outright instead of having to pay, you know, at least a monthly thing if it were a monthly thing. But I think this is an interesting idea of maybe renting it as a per use, which we've not considered before. So
Just one more thought. I took a drink of Coke and all of a sudden one popped in my head. CVS is closing 900 stores, but they're not doing it because it's a bad thing. They're doing it because they want to focus on healthcare, one-stop shopping for the senior market. And so they're going to be doing the same thing Walmart is, where they put the glasses technician there and the hearing counter tech or hearing aid technician, etc. That might be a product to throw into that game because they are aiming at the growing senior citizen market right now, and they're open to new ideas on that arena. So by putting that in there, you're actually providing another. They sell walkers, they sell canes, they sell the DME direct to the person. So they might be open to something like that too as a try and buy. They still got 9,000 stores left, so I think that could provide you with eating money, even if you got a demo in each one.
Yeah, no, I didn't know that.
I'm going back to my Coke now.
So I think if I may, there are so many, you know, Mark, getting so much, really, I think really, I know you thought there were a lot of these things, but so much really good feedback. One thing that strikes me between James's comment about other countries and, you know, Cliff's comment about, you know, maybe, and things you thought about, but you thought about doing later on, like home health care and, you know, CDSs of the world and that sort of thing is, I understand that you started with kind of a Tesla model, if you will, going high end and then working back down, which makes sense for a Tesla because they don't, let me say it a different way. Going to hospitals, you have we've been talking about all of the roadblocks that get put in your way, all the, you know, besides slow paying, but there's all kinds of approvals you need to get, not just FDA, but then from the systems themselves. This product may be, Tesla might not be the best model. You actually might make sense to, as Cliff was saying, you know, you can feed yourself and a lot of others by starting at the other end or at another end and work up to a premium, you know, a hospital grade with all the bells and whistles piece. And that way, not only can you be making money more immediately, but you can also be refining product, and you'll have a plethora of cases that you can rely on, that you can then take to hospital settings or other places. That's what I'm kind of putting. I'm not adding anything new. I'm putting all of this together.
And definitely
a lot of the same things.
I think about it a lot, and we do have an opportunity. So Samaritas here in Michigan, they have like 5 or 6 facilities. I got in contact with their head of rehab, so they're interested in trying our product. It'd be interesting to see, because they're not a hospital system, right? They're a assisted living facility, elderly care. If they adopt it and they're willing to buy X amount, that'd be
right.
Validation and exactly what you're talking about, and maybe or getting around the price point to add in what Cliff is suggesting is maybe we do a renting route with them just to make it accommodating if they can't afford the sticker price. And
if nothing else, that way you get, you know, you can't talk about the you know, some places where people have tried it on their own, but this would be actually you could be having people speak to, oh, this helped me a lot and it saved us time, money. You know, our patients our clients, our customers are much more comfortable. There's a host of different ways that you can use that information, not just in refinement. So I think seriously about just trying you tried a few different roads, and then you've got more, more cases going on and more smart people trying to make something that helps their clients. And something seems like it will come of it, because this is clearly this is an idea that makes sense in a lot of different settings.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that.
It seems to me also, Doug is in marketing as well as Mike Bacon, that you have a really strong story with the fact that you have a couple patents and that you also are recently FDA approved. I really like the idea that it's a throw it over your shoulder and you can move it, really easily around. So I don't know, Mark, if you're the only one doing your marketing. I'm an entrepreneur as well, a solo entrepreneur right now. And it does feel like you wear a lot of hats, but that would be one of the things I think to emphasize. And as far as that leasing or leasing the product, renting the products, what that Cliff had mentioned, it might not be too much to just put that on your website and add that to your sales page to say, there is an option for this, reach out, versus, figuring out how that's going to work in advance. Just make sure that it's available, because you might find that there are at-home caretakers that really could use this product. And it's like a one nurse job where they're going around to at-home caretakers. And that might be, like Doug was saying, a great place to get testimonials, to put on your website and to use in your presentations when you are pitching for funding.
Yeah, I totally agree. And SNFs, that's what we call it, SNFs, skilled nursing facilities. I think, we're going to be we're going to APTA, American Physical Therapy Association, here in February, and there's all sorts of people there. So it'll be really interesting to see, engage. I think you're suggesting and adding it to our website. Absolutely. That's an easy way to do that. So
on another note, is this the first thing that you've worked on? Is this your first are you first time entrepreneur?
Yeah. Yes.
Well,
learned a lot.
I wish I could be looking at you in the room, so I'll be talking to you later, but don't give up. Don't give up heart. It does feel like a solo job. It does feel like you got your baseball hat on, it faces in 9 different directions, and you really do have an amazing product that you have gotten through tons of hoops in the last year to have a physical product to even show us here in this small group setting. So I think you're walking on the right pathway. It feels like that you are. It feels like you are. It looks like AK has another question, so I'm happy to open the floor up to you, AK. What can you offer to Mark?
Yes, I just did a cursory review, perusal of your website, and 2 things. One is it gives a little warning, security warning on the Chrome browser. I'm not sure if that's a good thing.
Yeah, it's not a HTML protected. I'm aware of that.
But also leaves much to desire as far as expectations. You said pre-order. When I hit a button and it says pre-order, I'm expecting to be able to make an order. I think you may want to change that language instead of pre-order, maybe additional information or something, because if I hit a button that says, you want to make a pre-order, and I hit the button and I can't make an order, there's a problem there.
Yep, I absolutely agree. The website's been on my back of my mind and needs a lot of updating for sure. Particularly as before, we didn't want to put anything there. There's FDA legal reasons you can't put an order button if it's not for sale yet. But yeah, now that we'll have commercial products, that definitely needs to get updated. So that's a good reminder. At the very least, collect people's information as customers.
Yeah, perhaps put if you and I'm just perhaps like an invite. You want to be a perspective for prospective customers and clients. Instead of pre-order. I like I said, when I hit the button pre-order, I'm expecting to make an order, and that's just out of habit. Of going to all these e-commerce sites. You hit pre-order or Kickstarter or whatever, you hit pre-order, there's actually a page where you can put information to make an order. That it's just a matter of expectation.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, I'm done.
It's just the thing that AK just mentioned about just for more information, that where you're just got FDA, approved, we're, in development, for more information or as we update and let people who are interested self-select. It's a lot more efficient than them having to find you later, if you can find them.
Okay, so can you guys hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay. So one of the things we do, Mark, is 1 Million Cups platforms. We do this all around the country. There's 160 different chapters, maybe more now. Is the real question is, what can our community do to help you? So where are you like really stuck right now that you'd like to just throw out that question to us to see if there's a way we can give back and support you?
Yeah, it's a great question. I definitely have a lot of areas, but I think a couple different things is, expanding my team, so trying to find people who are, in line with what I'm trying to do. I realize I cannot do this by myself. Kind of moving forward and what that means. And then, so I guess the hiring would be a hiring question. And then, just connections, being a startup, any physical therapist you might be interested in this, would love to, if you want to connect with me, love to talk to them, do a demo for them if possible, whether remotely or in person, whether it be a hospital or if they work at long-term care facilities, that'd be great. So more leads to the funnel.
Mike Bacon, can you talk to him about what you recently did with your games in Fiverr and like how you are starting to develop a list of a specific target?
So Fiverr is a service that I think you're aware of that, right?
Yeah. I use Fiverr a lot.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, if you're looking to get information, I think a little bit more basic information, that's what I used it for. They're pretty good. What did you use it for?
I've used it for creating our instruction manual, used it for generating leads. So I actually use Upwork for generating leads. So having someone go through and look at all the hospitals and get me names on Sales Navigator on LinkedIn. So basically getting name, email, phone numbers for all our potential leads for future marketing purposes. Basically, we'll drop an email and have someone call them.
Yeah. Okay. Same. So good service to use.
It's great. I mean, it's good service.
Well, okay. So the reason I brought that up, I hope you guys can hear me okay, is that one of the things that Mike is using Fiverr for, I'm just going to repeat it for the room, is he has, I'm just going to tell them, like, he has a card game he's designed, he's invented, and instead of, he's not quite ready to like blow it out and put it out to the market, but he is having a Fiverr person help develop a list, a specific list of stores in specific areas that he can go one-on-one to go visit and maybe demo the game if there's opportunity, or if they have a game playing night, there's an opportunity. And so what I was thinking, Mark, is you mentioned that you want to build relationships with physical therapists, even businesses, they're physical therapy businesses. And maybe you start with, he's located, for the rest of you in the room, in Detroit. So maybe you have a Fiverr person start developing you a specific list and give them specific targets. I'm looking for physical therapists in Oakland County that will take walk-in demonstrations. Maybe that's an initial phone call that they make. We have a new product that we think will benefit. It was invented by a physical therapist. It has 2 patents. It's FDA approved. Can you please give me the contact name? Like, actually have a Fiverr do that cold call so that you have a list of a certain area that you might take, one day a week to go drive through and set up appointments to do that demo in order to start building that list with real, like, one-on-one relationship building. So, that's one of the things we have to do in the beginning of being an entrepreneur is, like, walk the walk for the sale. So that, if that was said the same way, I don't know if I heard it the same way, but that's what I was suggesting.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That's a great use for that platform. And
Right? It gives you some mental relief that you're not developing the list. Like you could develop the lists, you could, but your time is more valuable.
No,
Yeah,
it's not worth, yeah. Might as well pay someone.
Yeah. And then Doug, do you have something else you want to share regarding marketing?
Well,
Or
actually, it was a question. You said filling out staff. Where do you think you need? Where do you need help? Where's on your team? What kind of people do you need?
Yeah, I mean, so my approach, at least again, I'm thinking old strategy here, but even the new strategy, if I wanted to do long-term care facilities, is finding independent medical reps. So if anyone knows anyone who's even interested,
Okay.
or knows medical salespeople, but the tricky part is there's tons of medical salespeople. It's just finding someone that already targets this rehab, acute care kind of space. So any tips on that? I've never hired a salesperson, and the great thing about them is they're all based on commission, so I don't have to pay them a salary. It's just commission based, which is ideal for me.
And so for that, more public speaking, I have to do that with my business too, but the more you can publicly just talk about what your product is, there's a better chance you might find someone that has a passion for what you've helped create and put out in the world. And they might, be that salesperson that does this because they believe in the product more than I'm going to add something to my inventory to try to sell to my current market. Like you got to look for that person. And I'm maybe your COO has that kind of ability to do that public speaking on behalf of the company to continue to draw that like lead magnet to support you.
Yeah, that's great advice.
AK, what you got for us?
This is a simple question. Have you sold one unit?
No, we're still pre-revenue. So the hope is with these hospitals, I have them, they've signed all MOUs from me with the intent that they're going to purchase. So I expect to get 5 hospitals to buy, and that'll be, a nice little jump start for validation of our business.
I'm going to make a suggestion. You need to hit the payment because it all starts with one sale. You need to get that one sale. You need to hit the pavement. Don't wait on a salesperson. You need to knock on doors. You need to enter a room. You need to do the demonstration. You need to make the first sale. And I'm done. Yeah,
absolutely. I totally agree with you. I'm going to be out in the door doing the sales just as I have been, the last year or so. So yeah, totally agree. It'd be more of a complementary help scale. Absolutely. But yeah, that's wise advice. I'm the most driven of anyone in the company, right? So I should be out there selling.
Yeah, like a true entrepreneur.
Then we have an idea and a concept, and we want to make sure that it stays alive.
Melissa, you're breaking up again. I think it's.
Anyways, I'll say it again.
But yeah, looking like a true.
You are the.
You're still breaking up. I think it's when you and Mark are both off mute.
Oh, can you mute?
I'm guessing.
We're working on the hybrid model still, I guess.
Now you're fine. Now you're good. I think that solved it.
Yeah. I mean, I was just saying that's one of that's when you're an entrepreneur, when you feel like you're the only one that really cares about what you're trying to get to live out there. You're unemployable, right? I heard someone, my coach told me that recently when I kept starting to think, God, I need to make some money. She was like, you are unemployable, Melissa. Just keep going, keep going, keep going. So, and it's true. I don't want to work for anyone else. I have something that I'm putting out there. You have something that's a viable, supportive, helpful product that you have some legit backing to. So keep going, Mark. So we're nearing the end of our time here. Yeah. Is there anyone else that's anything that they'd like to share with Mark that would be helpful, or any other comments in general? I mean, anybody? I think AK, you were very helpful in showing up today. I think you said it was the first time that you came to a 1 Million Cups. So we do hope that you'll show up at our second week of January meeting. And if you have a business or if you have a product you'd like to to demo with us, we do have availability to present. We do 2 presenters every time we do these events. So we would love to hear back from you. And James, I hope that you come back as well.
Yep,
Maybe
hoping to
back
present
another-
next January. And thanks so much for presenting today, Mark.
That's what I thought.
So, but thank you everyone for your comments as well. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, great
We're
job,
gonna
Mark.
save the Chat for you.
And
Make sure you-
absolutely great job, Mark. And there were terrific comments from a bunch of folks today. I think and hope you'll find them, at least the perspective, useful. I think there was a lot of, intensive concentration on your startup and your idea, which has such merit, and ways that you can, make your way through the startup desert, or whatever it is, the trials of being a startup. So great job.
Thank you.
All right, and then Alex, you're going to be presenting with us soon, right?
I believe so. We haven't confirmed a date yet, but I think, yeah, that's what we're working toward.
You've been able to work with one of our coaches?
Yes, I have. And it's been helpful. And so we're making some updates based on the feedback from Jason. And yeah, I think our market is a little bit more complex. There are a lot more handles to turn, but that's why we're looking for feedback. So very much look forward to presenting and getting feedback.
Yeah, great. That's good. And that's one of the benefits to presenting with us is we do have a couple gentlemen on our team that are business coaches. They're serial entrepreneurs. They've done a lot of pitching and launching, and they're very happy to help with newbie event planners like us, or newbie, not event planners, entrepreneurs. AK,
Yeah,
go
very
ahead.
much look forward to.
Yes, Mark. I'm sorry, Alex. Excuse me. Mark, so what is the commission for selling a unit? There's a reason why I'm asking that question.
What's the condition?
Yeah.
No, commission.
Oh,
Commission.
Commission for selling a unit.
Commission. 20%.
20%?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's pretty typical for IMRs. So,
All righty. You
yeah,
may
I
be
mean, if you
hearing from
introduce
me
me and
soon.
you help me get the sale, that's still true, right? That goes for everyone. They help get to a sale, do that sales process, close a deal, then yeah, that's.
Why are you asking, AK?
I have a lead, but I don't need to divulge it. I'm a guy who believes in execution. So when I contact you, Mark, I will already have a sell for you.
All right, perfect. I appreciate that.
Fantastic.
Do you want to put your information in the chat for Mark, just so he can give you a thanks?
Yeah.
I have his information. Like I said, when I call him, the sale will be completed.
That'd be awesome. I would love that.
Yeah, so it's a prospective lead. So I have to talk to the lead, but if it goes well, if I contact you, guaranteed the sale have been concluded.
That's great. Yeah, I would love that. Appreciate that.
Very cool.
Looking forward to it.
All right, guys, thank you so much for joining us this Wednesday morning. We really appreciate you all being here. And please, Alex and James, go ahead and spread the word about 1 million cups and have people join in the room. Anybody, like I put out, when I presented with 1 million cups this past year, I put out just to family and friends because I wanted them to know what I was doing, and we got some really good feedback and we got some new people in the room. So please go ahead and put out that you are presenting in the future here with us, and that we would love people to join us and offer help to new presenters or regular presenters. So thank you very much, you guys. We're gonna log out of the Zoom.
Before you do that, just a quick question. AK, where did you hear about 1 million cups Metro Detroit?
I through Meetup.
Okay.
Meetup has been a really good source for us.
Yep, that's great. Okay.
All right, thanks, AK.
Very
Thanks
cool.
everybody
Thank
for
you.
being here. We're gonna
You're
log off
welcome.
the Zoom.